I will describe here the most energetically dangerous places for high-frequency people, and why. This problem applies to anyone who has a higher frequency than the average and not only to starseeds, and that's why I initially included in the title Lightworkers and Woken people, although it is simply too long for YouTube and it's not practical to mention them all while I write, although I do include them all, people, human or not, and animals as well, so I will mostly simply use the word starseed. I need to say that it's not only people who drain a high-frequency person such as a starseed, it can also be places and situations. Many buildings hold a very low vibratory state that can bother and even sicken a starseed. Places such as banks, government buildings, and large ugly housing complexes among many others, keep their frequency very low because of the kind of activities that go on in them, or have happened in them. But the places that hold the lowest vibration, and therefore are the ones that are the most sickening to starseeds and lightworkers, are the following. Churches and religious temples, places of worship and control. These places are designed from their basement upwards precisely to manage and channel emotional, mental and soul energy from the people. They are built on top of energetic points on Earth, such as ley lines and vortex points. This is also why at least most churches and temples are built on top of older buildings that were also used as worship places by cultures that preceded them, such as pre-Hispanic temples and pyramids, or over ancient Druidic gathering places. The places used for worship in the past, and today with a church or any temple of any other religion, are set for a reason in those specific places. They are highly magnetic and energetical points that help potentiate their desired effects over the people. How the ones that built the temples know this may remain a mystery, but for me it is a clear indication of intervention from individuals that have a high level of technology to detect those places, and I mean since a very long time ago. Moreover, many of those places where churches have been built have entrances to the underworld. Churches and temples have openings hidden in their basements, especially the older ones. These secret openings are usually found underground in the crypts, among human bones and coffins, where few normal people dare go into. Those secret openings lead to passageways that interconnect those churches and temples to other ones, nearby and far away, as well as to secret exits to the outside world. Most of those ancient and not so ancient passageways were artificially built, and served as secret escape routes in times of persecution. Christians, among many other creeds, have been persecuted throughout history for innumerable reasons, so they all had to devise and build escape tunnels, routes and mechanisms. But not all the tunnels are artificial, as many churches and temples have openings that lead to underground caverns, and some also lead to the inner earth, where other non-human dangerous creatures live. This is important to know. A direct example of this, I dare disclose, are the tunnels under old churches on the island of Crimea, and that were built back in the times of the Crusades. Those lead into deep caverns which are known to lead deep to the inner earth and are openings and exit points for reptilian-based entities. Many explorers in the past have vanished in these caverns and openings without a trace, and those churches are now heavily guarded. Many churches are fronts and disguises for underworld openings, both artificial and natural, and some of the most important ones are found in large cities such as Rome, London, Paris, Edinburgh, and Washington, D.C., among many others. Also lead directly to high-speed transit underground transport systems or deep underground bases, that are whole cities underground. This is why those places are called holy places, because they have holes in them, portals, and underground openings. Listen to the wording, you can get many clues there. But coming back to what sickens starseeds directly, the mere architecture of churches and temples are designed from the ground up to suck the soul energy out of the people. If you look past the artwork, the whole place is designed to make people feel small, vulnerable and helpless next to such a grandiose display of power. Moreover, the images, statues and symbols there convey a message and a feeling of deep suffering, all designed for one purpose: to promote and impose fear into the hearts of those visiting, to belittle the human spirit into submission. Even the external architecture is designed to channel energy from the people inside the church and into the etheric field surrounding it. This is why churches have steeples and pointed appendages pointing up to the sky, exactly where big portals to the lower astral are found, right above them. They help create an energy vortex point on top of them where lower astral beings can come in and out of the material realm, because that vortex creates nothing other than a strong portal to the underworld. And that is why churches and temples are essentially structures that create and potentiate portals that lead to the lower astral, because as I described in several of my videos, lower astral entities of all kinds do mingle with human beings, and they can alter small events that may cause a chain reaction that leads to human suffering, and that is exactly what they eat, and what they feed from. When the vibratory state and frequency of a person are low enough, it becomes compatible with one of those lower astral entities, therefore permitting them to manipulate those living people, both implanting thoughts and thought patterns into their minds that cause them to make bad decisions and to have ill-aggressive and self-destructive thoughts that feed those entities. In other words, churches and temples are designed as feeding grounds for astral entities, of the kind the controllers of Earth worship in their hideous rituals. And ultimately, this is the case for just about all the low-frequency places, buildings, and constructions, because as they hold a low vibration, they logically will be a nesting and feeding ground for those lower astral entities of all kinds.